Are you craving more happiness in your daily life, but find it hard to stay consistent with the habits that you know would help? In today's episode, I'm sharing 4 gentle mindset shifts to help you follow through and start creating your happy life, one doable step at a time. No pressure, no perfection, just real life shifts to help you take aligned action from a place of self-trust and happiness. Come on in, it's time to choose happy. Hi, I'm Marie, and this is Choose Happy with Marie, the podcast that helps you break free from negative thoughts and reconnect with what really lights you up. If you've done everything right, but you still feel stuck or off track, I want you to know you're not alone. Each week, I share mindset shifts, affirmations, and real life reflections to help you come home to yourself and live a life that feels good to live. You're in the right place. Let's get started. Hi, welcome back to Choose Happy with Marie. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Just a friendly reminder, this is the podcast that helps you break free from negative thinking, build lasting confidence, and create a life that you actually want to wake up to. So I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Today's episode is especially for you if you've ever said the following. I know what would make me happier. I just can't seem to stick with it. Whether it's journaling, meditating, walking, or just taking more deep breaths. You know, those healthy habits. But staying consistent, that's the hard part. And if that's you, I want you to know I see you and I've been there too. There was a season in my life where I had all the tools. I had the affirmations, the routines, the big dreams, but I just couldn't get myself out of my own way. Can you relate? I kept waiting to feel ready. And you know what? That day never came. So what finally helped? Well, making happiness was being created in simple, small, and non-negotiable steps. It first started, though, with our mindset, or my mindset to be specific about how I've come to where I am today. So today, I'm walking you through 4 mindset shifts that will help you take aligned action even when life is full. These are practical, empowering shifts to help you design your happy life, not just dream about it, although dreaming is where it starts. And if you're following along with my free guide, Choose Happy, Break Free from Negative Thinking, the free download, this episode beautifully complements day number 4, where we begin moving from awareness into gentle action. If you haven't grabbed your free copy yet, I'll show you how to do that by the end of the show. All right, before we go into that, I do love to share the reviews that I get for the show. It truly touches my heart when you do leave a review, so thank you so much to those who go on their podcast app and leave a review or send me an email. Thank you very much. It helps the show come up in the search results better. It helps others become aware of it. And it tells me that you're enjoying the show. So thank you so much. This review is from Allison. And it goes as follows. Change your brain. I wish I had this podcast the first 20 years of my life. Happiness was so hard for me to consistently find. I am so excited to listen more to your podcast and continue the journey of confidence, pushing out negativity, and changing my brain. Thank you so much, Allison. Allison, I really appreciate your review. Just a friendly reminder, it is very easy to leave a review. Just go down on your favorite podcast app where it says leave a review. And I would love it if you could do that. All right, now let's dig into today's training. 4 gentle mindset shifts to help you finally follow through on what you want to bring into your life. Tip number 1, I want you to start small, start and stay steady. What do I mean by this? Most of the time, we think we're inconsistent because we lack discipline. But usually, it's just that we're doing too much and too fast. We're expecting results like this. I don't know if you feel that way lately, but it's like if we don't have immediate feedback, immediate success, we think it's a failure. And that's not the case. And we often find ourselves overwhelming ourselves. So I want you to let your vision still stay big of what you want for your happy life, but let your steps be tiny. So each step that you're thinking about doing towards creating whatever you want into your life, start with the next step. Let it be a manageable step. It all starts with that one step and following through. And that's how you're going to build self-trust, that you can follow through. So ask yourself the following. What's the smallest version of this new habit that I can start with today? I'll give you an example. For example, Sarah, a teacher that I'm connecting with through email, she used to set big morning routines. I mean, she had the journaling, the meditating, the walking, everything that I recommend in the Choose Happy checklist that you can download on my website, choosehappywithmarie.com. But for her, it wasn't realistic because she has a 7:30 a.m. school start, and she'd end up doing none of it most of the time. And that just led her to discouragement. So what we did is we worked together and we broke it down. What we started with was her evening routine. So for 2 to 5 minutes at night, before she went to bed or goes to bed, she identifies 3 things that she is grateful for in that moment of that day or just how she's feeling. So she's been able to keep that up because it's a manageable habit that she can easily put in her day, in her evening before she goes to bed. A time period that she can control. Because if we can't control our time periods, then we can't follow through and implement what we want. We need to be able to control that time that we want to do that habit in. So that one small shift has helped her feel happier and more in control of her day-to-day life. And it is sticking. She is continuing to do it every day, not just when she has the time. She actually is now implementing it in her day-to-day routine, saying 3 things she's grateful for every night before she goes to sleep. By the way, if you're not in our private Facebook group, please do join us. The link is in the show notes. You will see that once a month I do create a post about gratitude. And gratitude is very powerful. It pivots us into a positive mindset. If you're looking for like a little nudge, do join our private Facebook group. You will see positive posts through the week, and once a month at minimum, there will be a gratitude post there, just to nudge you to remember what you're grateful for. So that is tip number 1. Start small, stay steady so that you produce results, successful results. Tip number 2, create a cue and connection. You don't follow through often times because you should. I should do this. I should go to the gym. I should eat healthy. I should have that morning walk. You follow through because it matters. It matters to you. Ask yourself the following question. How does this healthy habit that I want to implement in my life support the happy life that I want to feel? When you have the how, and then you ask yourself the why does it matter? Why do you want to bring this into your life? It will help give you strength to follow through. For example, Lauren, she's a project manager, and she told me that she's always scrolling her phone during lunch. It's just this really bad habit that she's adopted. And she's been wanting to journal. She bought a beautiful book, on her latest travels, and she wants to journal, but she can never find the time. So we talked this through to try to figure out how she can bring it into her life. And now what she's doing is she paired her journaling with that break, with that lunch break. Again, a time period that she could control. So what she does now is she finds a park bench or just a chair somewhere in a quiet area. She listens to, nice music in her earbuds on her phone. And she writes. She writes for like 10, 15 minutes or whatever, it's calling to her to write. And she's able to keep this new habit now in her life. And the result of that small tweak in her daily life has helped her feel more present and more empowered during the day, because she was able to follow, or she is able, I keep thinking it's in the past, but she's continuing to do this. She feels empowered that in her work day, she's able to take some time and do something that she really wants. And that's starting to create her happy life. So tip number 2, create a cue and a connection. Now, tip number 3, let progress be imperfect. What do I mean by this? Some days you will follow through. Some days, nope, you're not going to follow through. Life will happen and you're not able to do that habit, that healthy habit, that task that you want to do in your day. Now, I want you to reframe this mindset when that happens, because life happens. It doesn't mean that you failed. It means you're human. You're living a human life where life happens. We can't control everything that happens in our day. A B- effort, okay? Like if A being you followed through, A+ you followed through, B- is still okay. It still counts. You still showed up on those other days. And if you can do that task in another part of your day, that's an option as well. The goal here is about trusting yourself to follow through. It's not about being perfect. That's not human. I'll give you an example of someone else that I've been coaching, Rebecca. So she's been wanting to implement walking in the evenings. And she has young children, so she can't always, decide at, between 7 and 7:30, I'm going for a walk. No, because she has children that she needs to accommodate their schedule, their evening schedule, their activities, that kind of thing. So what was happening was she was missing several of her evening walks, and it started to be like in a row, 2-3 times in a row. And she was feeling really down about herself. So instead of giving up, we shifted her goal. So she doesn't need to have an evening walk every day. Instead, her goal is 4 walks a week. So for a 7-day week, 4 walks a week. And she will fit them in the day whenever it makes sense. So it doesn't need to be in the evening. It can be on her lunch break. It can be any other time of the day. Flexibility creates consistency. Again, we're living a human life. We cannot control our day, our entire day. Things happen. But when we're flexible, we can be more consistent and we can have more compassion for ourselves. So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4, anchor what you want to bring into your life to something you already do. And the best way to build a new habit, and I did do an episode about this, it's based on the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, great book, by the way, is you attach it to something you already do. For example, I'll give you 3 examples. While your coffee is brewing in the morning, for example, pull a Choose Happy affirmation card from the card deck. Easy to do. So your coffee's brewing, you pull an affirmation card, you look at the affirmation, and you look at the question that's on the back of the card, and it just gets you thinking about how you could implement that affirmation in your day. And that's while the coffee's brewing. That takes a couple of minutes. Another example, as you're brushing your teeth in the evening, for example, you could reflect on one good thing from the day that happened that day. Another example, before you check your email, take 3 deep breaths. It really makes a difference when we take a moment to breathe. So many of us are just on this hamster wheel of go, 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 that we forget to breathe. And then we're not feeling well, and it's like this catch-22. You could implement that kind of a healthy habit to something you already do. Another example is Emily, and so I've already given you an example. She's a busy school administrator, and she always makes coffee in the morning, and so she does do that example that I just shared, where she pulls one of the affirmations from the Choose Happy affirmation card deck while she is brewing her coffee. And she actually will take the affirmation card and put it in her purse. And so through the day, she'll look at the affirmation and it'll just remind her whatever that affirmation is about for the day. So that moment of just taking time to yourself, saying positive words, it becomes a grounding moment. It became a grounding moment for her. Something she looked forward to every morning. It's like, oh, I wonder what affirmation I'm going to get today. And it helps set the tone for her day, a positive tone for her day. Only takes a minute, only took a shift, but big energy changes can happen when you bring in positivity. Just a quick recap on these 4 shifts about how you can design your happy life, in manageable ways. So the first one, start small, stay steady. Tiny steps build self-trust. Number 2, create a cue and a connection. Align your habit with how you want to feel. Why does it matter? Let that help ground you and motivate you to follow through. Tip number 3, let progress be imperfect. B- habits still count. You don't need to completely follow through. You are not a failure if you don't completely follow through. Create realistic habits, realistic goals that you can achieve to implement the habit. And number 4, anchor to what you already do. Tie new habits to current routines. It really helps. These are not rules. They're gentle invitations that I find have really helped me in my life. It is what I share with my coaching clients. And it's a compassionate way to live our lives, through kindness and creating a happy life by design. A happy life does not just happen. We have to intentionally work on it to bring it into our life. So this mindset shift, by the way, what I've just shared with you today, is exactly what I talk about in day 4 of my free guide, Choose Happy, Break Free from Negative Thinking. So if you haven't grabbed it yet, check the link in the show notes. It's your 7-day reset. You can have 7 days to reset to help you move from doubting yourself to finally trusting yourself, one small step at a time. Let me leave you with this. Creating your happy life isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the one thing that anchors you to who you want to become. So I ask you, what does it look like when you are choosing happy? Do more of that. Start doing it today. And if you want someone in your corner helping you figure it out, send me an email. I'd love to tell you more about my coaching services. My email is marie@choosehappywithmarie.com. If this episode encouraged you to finally take that first small step, share it with a friend, share your wins with a friend, or leave a quick review for the show. It really helps more women discover the show. Until next time, take good care and remember, your happy life isn't out there. You're creating it right now. Okay? Wishing you a beautiful week, very happy week, choosing happy. Cheers! Thanks for listening to Choose Happy with Marie. If today's episode spoke to you, I would love it if you could share it with a friend or leave a quick review for the show. It helps more women find this kind of support. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your life to start feeling better. You just have to choose happy right where you are, one choose happy choice at a time. I'll see you next time. Take care.